R.T. Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
Raynell Medical Center is excellent healthcare right at home. Primary care, behavioral health, dental, pharmacy, full-service lab, and more. At locations close to you in Raynell, Meadowbridge, Alderson, White Sulphur Springs, Maxwellton, Midland Trail, and Lewisburg. Call 304-438-6188. Raynell Medical Center. Excellent healthcare right at home.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's matchup. This is round number 2 of the Greenbrier West Cavaliers versus the Mount View Lady Knights, with the Knights taking round number 1 this Wednesday, 12-8. So the Cavaliers are in a win-or-go-home situation. The Knights can afford to lose this game, and they could survive till tomorrow night, as it is a loser's bracket, double elimination. But the Cavaliers are currently on the bottom part of that bracket, and they're going to have 2 straight wins in order to make it to the state tournament and survive. As of right now, the Knights are the only team in the region with no losses. And the Cavaliers are the only one with 1 loss, because the other 2 teams in Greater Beckley and also Webster County have both been eliminated. The Cavaliers eliminated Webster County last night, and Mount View took care of Greater Beckley. So we're ready to roll here with this game here in just a few minutes. First pitch is scheduled for 5:57, but we're rolling right along right now. So it looks like first pitch will likely be at around 5:59. And this evening, Briley Redden will be back on the mound for the Cavaliers. So it's good to see her back there. And here in just a second, we will get this game rolling, as the throw goes down from senior catcher Brooklyn Adkins to Eliana Dietz. Let's get this party started, and we are ready to roll. Here we go. Cavaliers versus Knights. Game 2 of 3, possibly. Could just be 2 games depending on this game this evening. But regardless, let's go. Swung on and miss for the first pitch, as Redden is officially back. Had yesterday's game off, as Lake and Tully took the rubber in a 20-0 victory against the Highlanders. And Redden looking nice right now to start out this ball game. She throws 2 heaters to get out in front. And strike 3 called. Redden, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening with the first batter on the evening. As she's able to strike out Miss Malaya Barnes. And now Cheyenne Belcher will be up to bat. And the first ball of the evening for Redden is up. Redden swung on and missed. That's something the Cavaliers missed in Redden's absence, was that really hard fastball right down the middle. It's hard for batters to be able to catch up to that. And that one swung on by Belcher, cleanly fielded by Diana Porter, but not a good throw. Rhodes gets over, throws down to second base, not in time. The error's going to be on Diana Porter, as Belcher's able to reach, and she is on second base. So now the aforementioned Phoebe Dudgeon, talked about her a bunch on Wednesday, and she's going to hope that her name comes out of my mouth a bunch this evening for good reasons. Let's see if she can do it. Swung on and missed for strike number 1. Second pitch for Redden. And it's going to be a called strike, as the Mount View away bench did not agree with it. It was definitely in the zone, but the ball was dropped by Brooklyn Adkins. So now Dudgeon back behind the fence. Can she make some damage happen? Down 0-2. Wasted pitch, but a good one on the outside edge. Draw the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position. Can Dudgeon bring her in? Swung on and miss. Second K of the day for Briley Redden. So after the error, Redden able to strike out Dudgeon. And now their cleanup hitter, Kaylee Rose, up to bat. 72 at bats and a 4.03 average on the season for Rose. Upstairs for ball one. Redden looking good in her start on the rubber so far. Let's see if she can keep it up. Second one called ball inside and a little bit high on Rose. Rose has 27 rips on the season, 15 singles, 8 doubles, and 4 triples. Called strike on the bottom part of the zone, as that'll get right at her knees. Much needed strike there from Redden to avoid falling down into heavy hitters count. And now Redden back in the driver's seat. She'll even her back up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if the Cavaliers can get out of this error or if the 4.03 hitting Barnes can make her pay. Swing on and another miss. So 3 strikeouts, and despite the error, Mount View not able to make the Cavaliers pay. We'll head on to the bottom of the first. Tie ball game.
Raynell Medical Center is excellent healthcare right at home. Primary care, behavioral health, dental, pharmacy, full-service lab, and more. At locations close to you in Raynell, Meadowbridge, Alderson, White Sulphur Springs, Maxwellton, Midland Trail, and Lewisburg. Call 304-438-6188. Raynell Medical Center. Excellent healthcare right at home.
Alrighty, we're back here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. We're going to take a look at the replay here. As you can see, Porter cleanly fielded it, but the throw was well in the dirt. And it allowed Cheyenne Belcher able to move on to second base. But they're not able to make it count or capitalize on the runner at second base. So that'll keep the score at 0-0. Or, if we're watching a soccer game, 0-0. But thankfully, we're watching softball, and I don't speak perfect English. We're hillbillies from West Virginia. Aerial view and aerial coverage brought to you by Advanced Hydraulics. As you can see, the fielding positions early on. Ready to roll for the Mount View Lady Knights. And Diana Porter leading off for the Cavaliers. Briley Redden will be on deck. And likely, unless if there's been a change made to the batting order, it'll be Brooklyn Adkins coming out to bat 3. Here we go. Cavaliers in their first matchup against the Lady Knights. If you were here for that game, you saw a good one. If you missed it, man, you missed a good one. The Cavaliers had a 7-0 lead in the top of the 6th inning and blew it as the Knights came back to upset the Cavaliers in 7 innings, 12-8. Cavaliers going to avoid doing that as they'll have home field advantage this game, and if they win this game, they'll have it the next one as well. Pitch just swung on and it hit the tip of Porter's bat and off her legs, so that'll be an automatic foul ball, and she'll be defending here with 2 strikes. This will be a look at your pitcher for this evening's game for the Knights. Swung on. Fouled off to the side there by Porter. Dudgeon, one thing about her, one of the many things about her, first of all, she gets the majority of the load for the Knights. Other pitchers have only pitched 4 innings total. Changeup was tried there by Dudgeon, but out in front of the plate about 1.5 feet. She's pitched 126 2/3 innings this season. Her record is 19-5. She also has a save on her resume as well, with only a 2.43 ERA on the season. So her and Redden will be going at it all day. And that one's going to be swung on. And Porter will make it to first base. Nice speed there by Porter as she gets the courtesy curve, as the softball looked like it was going to come straight back to Dudgeon. And let's see, the call might be that it hit the batter on the foul ball. It is not. I didn't think it was. Umpires come together. First base umpire and the home plate umpire make the call. And now Briley Redden, the senior ace on the mound and senior star at the plate, ready to make something happen for Greenbrier West and get them out on top of this ball game early. And she's going to be hit by the pitch. That's a hit by pitch there early from Phoebe Dudgeon. So I bring up Brooklyn Adkins with Eliana Dietz, the cleanup hitter, on deck. Cavaliers threatening early here with no outs. A little bit of jersey sight that we see this evening. For the Knights, they're wearing their bright yellow tops. And they've got blue, a little bit of a base blue color to their pants. As Brooklyn Adkins shows bunt, but didn't pull back quite in time, so that'll be strike number 1. Looked like the ball was in the zone regardless. And the Cavaliers wearing their usual old-fashioned blue jerseys with the Vegas gold socks. And that one swung on, and Adkins will have to defend here at 0-2. Got underneath of that pitch. Opponents are only batting 180 on the season against Phoebe Dudgeon. So that goes to tell you just how, quite frankly, not only annoying, but a threat she is. And Adkins somehow did not break her wrist and didn't go for the pitch. So count will be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Senior needs to come through for Greenbrier West. This season she's got 61 ABs. She's batting over 500 at 508. And we're going to have a discussion here between the home plate umpire and the head coach for Mount View. And that'll do it for their meeting. The gavel has been hit. The meeting is ended, as well as for the catcher. As Underwood and Dudgeon in their conference as well. 1-2 pitch. Nice changeup there from Dudgeon, but Adkins was all over it. That's going to score at least 1. Cavaliers lead early here as runners are now on the corners. And Adkins fired up as she gets the Greenbrier West Cavaliers on the board here early. So the Cavaliers in business here with no outs. Runners on the corner. And Eliana Dietz now up to bat for Greenbrier West. 68 at-bats and a 382 average on the season for the freshman. Dietz shows bunt and did that just so she was able to advance Adkins over into scoring position. So that takes away any force that the Knights had. And it's a double whammy as well, as the pitch was low in the zone. So Phoebe Dudgeon will start out 1-0 instead of 0-1. Slow windup is away. Swung on and missed, as the bad head of Dietz was not able to catch up to the speedy fastball. Called strike on the inside corner there on Dietz. And head coach for the Cavaliers tells Dietz that if it's close, be ready to swing at it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed, so they'll set down the freshman. As Kaylin Bevins now up to bat for Greenbrier West. Home plate umpire will clean off the home plate before Bevins comes up to bat. And these Knights are not scared and not nervous coming into this game. And they've got to have all the momentum in the world, not only knowing that they're able to drop this game without any damage, but also as Bevins swings a little bit under that pitch, and it'll make it to the backstop. But knowing that they can be down by as many runs as possible, and they could still come back from a deficit. Usually rule of thumb in softball or baseball is you don't want to get down by any more than 4 runs. That way, one swing of the bat can change it for a grand slam. But the Knights change that as they're able to come back down 7. And Bevins will get straight under that one, but it's going to make it out of play. And judging by the sound of our producer, Harry Vance, in my ear, sounded like that must have hit the top of the trailer behind us. Thankfully, it didn't hit the Starlink, or else we'd have lost you guys there for a second. Pitches away. Outside pitch. Called ball 1. Good look there, Dudgeon. She's probably talking about the tattoos that she had in our interview that we had this Wednesday. She'd love to be interviewed again, but only winners get interviews. So let's see if she's going to get one again. All right, Bevins in a little bit of a battle. Let's see who wins it. Phoebe versus Kaylin. Let's see who takes it. Neutral fielding position for the Knights. Up, but Redden not able to advance home. So count is evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count is being worked up a little bit early in this ball game for Dudgeon. She's facing a few more batters than what she might like. Outside, called ball 3. About chest high, but still missed the strike zone about 6 inches outside. And now full count. As Gracie Rhodes, the fastest player on this Cavaliers team, the number 6 hitter, is on deck. Swung on and missed. Bevins not able to catch up to the fastball. And Bevins pretty much said, all right, young lady, if you can catch up to this fastball and you hit it, then I'll tip my cap to you, but I don't think you're going to be able to. And that's exactly what happened. Bevins, second strikeout victim of this game. And let's see what Rhodes does here. And that one's going to hit the backstop. But it was so up high that it hit straight off the fence and went straight back to the catcher Underwood. So no advancement able to be made from Redden as she anxiously waits with 2 outs. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Cavaliers are a little bit late on that Dudgeon fastball right now. She's been able to blow it past him pretty good. So far, 23 pitches for Dudgeon. 15 of those have been strikes. Swung on and missed again. That fastball is cooking right now for Phoebe Dudgeon. Cavaliers are trying to time it up and get their bat head out. If the Cavaliers are victorious in this game, we might have to pull out the pitch finder and the range. That way we can get you guys how fast these pitches are for tomorrow's game. Upstairs. Oh, what a changeup. That was absolutely disgusting. Phoebe Dudgeon had Gracie Rhodes absolutely baffled and confused of where that pitch was even coming from. But nonetheless, Cavaliers still strike first. They lead 1-0 after 1 inning. We'll head to the top of the second on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Renai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote for delivery.
Welcome back, everyone, on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Aerial coverage brought to you by Advanced Hydraulics. As Redden getting ready to wind up for her final warm-up pitch. Throw is made down to Eliana Dietz. And top of the second is underway as Briley Redden is going to face Bonds. Ashanti Bonds, this will be her first at bat of the day. She's batting on the season. She got 39 ABs. She got 256 average. Out of those hits, 10 hits, 7 singles, 1 double. She's got 2 triples, so some speed here on the base pads for Bonds. And that's also seconded with her stolen bases. She's got 4 bags on the year. Swung on and missed, though. Before she gets on the base, she's got to get past that Redden fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It looks like between Dudgeon and Redden, both these squads are going to have to time up the fastball, and neither squad has been able to yet. So Redden has seen 5 batters so far. 1 has reached on the air, and the other 4 have been strikeout victims. Not surprising at all if you've seen Briley Redden so far this season. Rihanna Hood up to bat. And they're going to see if they can get themselves anything to do on base here, trying to bunt on base. Hood has got 22 ABs on the season, 136 average. Not a super high average, but not a super big strike zone either, though, for Redden. We'll see if she can hit it. But she's going to have to swing now as she defends with no balls, 2 strikes. Absolutely, that's filthy. Briley Redden, another strikeout. 5 Ks on the day on 1 2/3 innings pitched. And she has struck out 5 of her 6 that she's faced. And now Maddie Rose up to bat. 62 ABs, 339 average. Got a piece of that pitch, but it goes to the backstop for strike number 1. The Cavaliers looking really, really nice on defense. His defense was a big reason why they took the heartbreaking loss on Wednesday. Swung on and misses Rose. But they look like they're taking it personally to start out this ball game. By Briley Redden, a lawnmower. And we're going to have to take her out to mow some lawns as she is taking out every single one of these batters. Out of 7 batters faced, she struck out 6 of them, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. Cavaliers leading 1-0. Welcome back, everyone. Back to the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Tight game in the bottom of the second inning. James Monroe also currently up a little bit of a local score for you guys over on the Greenbrier Valley Channel YouTube channel. The James Monroe Mavericks are up currently 6-1 over on YouTube. They're taking on Mingo Central currently. All right, Jenna Hunter up to bat for the Cavaliers. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters up for Greenbrier West. Let's get this ball rolling. Wide open gap here in center field for Hunter. Can she hit it? Late swing again there for the Cavaliers. Keys to the game for both teams right now. Can their hitters come through? Obviously, you know the Cavaliers' main 2 bat heads. And Briley Redden and Brooklyn Adkins are going to come through. But can the underclassmen do the same thing? That'll be low on Hunter for ball number 1. And for the Knights, can their pitching continue to be ace from Dudgeon after seeing all these innings pitched, up to 127 innings pitched on the season? Nice change up there from Dudgeon. And she's out in front of Hunter, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunter on this late season batting. She's got 39 ABs and is batting .333. So she'll foul that one off towards the backstop and hit the fence. She's going to choke up on her bat ever so slightly. And let's see if she can get a piece of it. She's got a home run on the season. Be a great time for number 2 right here. And just enough of that pitch. It's going to be a strike. And head coach Steve Fills of the Cavaliers didn't hear the foul tip, and he told Hunter to start running. And the whole away side for the Mount View Lady Knights said, "She foul tipped it. What are you talking about right now?" So a little bit of an uproar from the away side. And we know how Mount View feels. They got eliminated by the Cavaliers last year. They've been their kryptonite. But so far, Dudgeon doing a nice job as she's able to take down the number 7 hitter in the lineup. So that'll be strikeout number 5 for Dudgeon. So 6 for Redden, 5 for Dudgeon. As Emma Edens comes up for the Cavs. Eden 61 ABs, 295 average. And that one's going to land foul. 1-1 strike. The real question is which team is going to be able to put batters and put runners on the bases sooner than the other one. This Wednesday, of course, was an anomaly where the Cavaliers should have more than had it. First baseman will move in for the Knights. As Rose trying to get as close as she can. That one's going to be popped up. And Rose will move laterally and make the foul out. And that'll be the second out of this bottom of the second. So Lakin Tully, who was yesterday's pitcher, and the Cavaliers' 20-0 victory over the Highlanders, will be up to bat. 44 ABs, straight at a .250 average for Lakin Tully. She's going to start by choking up. Inside pitch, and that hits her. So Cavaliers now have a runner. Is Tully able to reach after that first pitch that she sees? And now Cavaliers back up to the top of their lineup. Diana Porter. Porter had that funky spin on her first at-bat, I should say. She was able to get the infield single. And swung on and missed, got a little excited. So Cavaliers go from being way behind the fastball to Dudgeon now says, you know what, if you're going to try to time up my fastball, let me give you my changeup. So she'll get him out in front. Dudgeon. Oh, called strike on the outside edge. Man, that was a beautiful pitch there from Dudgeon. I don't know if you can paint that any better if you're Phoebe. So she'll have Diana Porter up against the wall now. No balls, 2 strikes, and she'll be defending. She chokes up on her bat. Tully. And that one's going to be cracked up the middle. Seeing high single for Diana Porter. And Lakin Tully will stay there at second base. And Diana Porter coming through for the Cavaliers. She's 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles. And now Briley Redden, who is hit by pitch, her first at bat. Man, would this be a nice time for the Cavaliers to crack one over the fence if you're a Greenbrier West fan. She got 6 dingers on the season. And that one's going to advance both runners. Porter looked like she had to make a decision there for a second. Thought the throw was going to be made over, but that'll take away the force. So now the only force will be at first base as Tully moves to third. Porter moves to second. Still neutral in fielding positions for the Knights. Called strike on the bottom part of the zone. So Dudgeon comes right back at a rubber opponent and evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. It's one thing I love about this Knights team and something I've loved watching them do against the Cavaliers. Every time they're up against the wall, they come right back and put up a fight. Swung on and missed there. She's now out in front of Briley Redden. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Redden on 78 at-bats leads the Cavaliers with a .577 average on the season. She's got a .641 on-base percentage. You really can't get much better than that. But she will as she cracks that one to the outfield. And, oh, it stayed in the air just long enough for the center fielder able to make the catch. As Barnes able to clear things, we'll check it out here on the Advanced Hydraulics replay. I thought Redden had enough of that one off the bat, but it hit too far off the end and allowed the pitch to stay in Cavalier Field. So that will do it. A little bit of an odd wrist bend there, but Barnes able to make it work. And we'll head now to the top of the 3rd inning. Cavaliers holding on to a 1-0 lead. Don't go anywhere.
Raynell Medical Center is excellent healthcare right at home. Primary care, behavioral health, dental, pharmacy, full-service lab, and more. At locations close to you in Raynell, Meadowbridge, Alderson, White Sulphur Springs, Maxwellton, Midland Trail, and Lewisburg. Call 304-438-6188. Raynell Medical Center. Excellent healthcare right at home.
Welcome back on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Top of the 3rd inning is ready to begin. The party has already started, though, for the Cavaliers as they struck first in the 1st inning. They lead 1-0. But the Knights would love nothing more. That's going to be an... Oh, what a play there by Lakin Tolley over at second base just in time. We're going to have to see a replay there. Did she make it in time? The second baseman, Tolley, flipped it over to Edens. And you guys get to see first if the play was in time. Oh, my goodness, it was. She got her by half a step. Good call there by the first base umpire. Called strike 1. So 1 early out on the swing there from Ray, and it'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters as Fowler brings out the bomb sickle. We'll see if she can make some magic happen with that bat. The only unfortunate thing for Briley Redden is that did not add to her strikeout total, but says nothing about her efficiency as she is mowing down these batters. 1 ball, 2 strikes against the number 9 hitter in this lineup, Fowler. Miss Fowler so far on this late part of the season, she's got 28 at-bats and a .214 average. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout victim for Briley Redden. 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. And now we're back up to the top with Miss Barnes as she'll take on Redden. Briley Redden on the day, 7 Ks. That pitch is going to be upstairs there for ball run. Here's a fun stat that you guys might like. Out of Redden's 30 pitches, 24 of them have been strikes. So only 6 pitches that have been thrown have been balls. That'll be 7 now as she pitches 2 straight. Uncharacteristic for Redden. We're going to have to take her out of the game now. My goodness. The downfall of Briley Redden. Pitches away. She says, just kidding, right there as she gets Barnes on a changeup. 2 balls, 1 strike. Upstairs for ball 3. Barnes on the day. She was one of Redden's strikeout victims there in the first inning. As Barnes is batting on her 72 at bats, 4-3. Swung on and missed. We're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Big 2-out at bat right here. Redden. Swung on and missed. That fastball is absolutely disgusting right now from Briley Redden. And she'll sit down, her 9th batter, and strike out her 7th. Excuse me, that's her 8th, I apologize, on the evening. And we'll head now to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cavaliers lead 1-0. Alrighty, welcome back. Top of the 3rd inning is done. Bottom of the 3rd is ready to get rolling, as it'll be the catcher for the Cavaliers up to bat. Let's get this thing underway. Brooklyn Adkins so far in this young ball game is 1 for 1. She got herself a hit and an RBI. Was able to bat in Diana Porter early. These are big hits that the Cavaliers need, and also big stops that the Knights need. Strike number 2 on the bottom part of the zone. But in recent history over the past couple years, the Knights have not been a huge scoring team against the Cavaliers. Only scoring 8 runs over their last 3 matchups. So it is favorable right now for this to stay a low-scoring affair. It almost seems like the Cavaliers are having a little bit of trouble, and I'm sure they have the game from Wednesday in the back of their mind. Pitches away. Good foul tip there by Brooklyn Adkins to stay alive at 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Adkins and Dudgeon having a laugh there. As Dudgeon has been doing such a fantastic job using her off-speed pitches to get the Cavaliers out in front. Let's see what she goes with here. She goes with the fastball. So she uses a couple fastballs there on the lower part of the zone. I would not be surprised if she went with another fastball high in the zone, or if she decided to use an off-speed pitch lower in the zone to get Atkins to chase. Likely go with the off-speed. And she does go with the off-speed. Atkins gets out in front of it. That throw way too high. And so Brooklyn Atkins will reach on the infield single, and the Cavaliers are in business in the bottom of the third inning. First base umpire. All right, it looked like they were going to give it to Atkins, give second base, but they're going to roll her back to first, so she'll stay at first on the single. Not sure what the rule was there. Nonetheless, the results will stay the same. As Eliana Dietz up to bat for the Cavs. She's 0 for 1 on the day. It was a strikeout victim of Phoebe Dudgeon in the first inning. First baseman comes in, throws down. Not going to be in time. Brooklyn Atkins steals another bag on the season. And that'll move her into scoring position now. The count is no balls, 1 strike. And Atkins ties Redden. Or actually, takes the lead over Redden. They got both 27 bags so far. I apologize, Redden stole a bag as well early in the first inning, so each Redden and also Atkins both have a stolen base, 27 stolen bases on the season. Pitch is low there for ball 1. These are crucial at-bats here for the Cavaliers, especially as they go deeper in the postseason. They gotta have their underclassmen step up. That pitch was outside for ball 2. Cavaliers are trying to work Dudgeon as well. Try to get as many base runners on as they can. Pitches away. Change-up grip, and she'll get behind that one. And Atkins forced to stay at third base, but a productive out there for Eliana Dietz, as she's able to move the runner up 60 feet for Kaylin Bevins. That was huge for the Cavaliers, especially in a low-scoring game like this one. Bevins also a strikeout victim of Dudgeon early in the first inning. First baseman moves in. That bunt's going to get down, but it's going to roll foul over to the third base side. And the Knights doing everything they can. The infield moves in over on the corners. As Rose and Fowler both try to keep Atkins from scoring. 0-1. Bunt showed again. It's popped up, but it's out of play, thankfully, if you're a Greenbrier West fan. And now the count will be no balls, 2 strikes. Defending here will be Kaylin Bevins. This is a huge, huge, huge out for the Cavaliers. The Knights need the out, and the Cavaliers need the run scored to give themselves a little bit of insurance. The 0-2. Change up. That's going to score the run. So job well done by Bevins. Is she going to beat it out? Yes, she will. She's safe. And she chose to dive over there at first base. What a hustle play there by Kaylin Bevins. And that's a way to get yourself on the advanced hydraulics replay. My goodness. Great hustle play there by Bevins. And she beats it out. So the out not able to be recorded. And the run was scored. So Cavaliers will get themselves another insurance run. The Cavaliers will crack. That is their fourth hit of the game so far. Hitless is the Knights. Runners will stay in. That's going to advance Bevins over to second. And Bevins likes to get dirty. There's no way around it. She dives into second base, unneeded as it hit the backstop. Bevins is just having fun out there in the infield, and you love to see it. Now she'll get herself a little bit of camera time as Gracie Rhodes will be choking up the bat slightly, and if she gets this into the outfield, it'll score. And that's another pass ball. Bevins had the time, but she'll choose to stay at second. Didn't want to risk getting the second out of the inning. So Rhodes so far has seen 2 pitches. Both were in the dirt. Encouragement coming from the away dugout. Inside pitch. Bevins will stay. 3 balls, no strikes. Dudgeon losing a little bit of that control that she's had so far through the first 2 1/3 innings. Dudgeon will check her wrist. Knights will move their fielding assignments back. Bunt shown by Rhodes. Called strike. My goodness, another pass ball. Called strikes. That'll be full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good defense there by Gracie Rhodes. She'll stay alive, and she's going to see at least 7 here in this at bat. Rose there in the backstop, trying to keep everything in front of her. Been a little bit wild this sequence of pitches in the 3rd inning. Let's see if she straightens up here as Rhodes chokes up heavily. Inside pitch called ball 4. So Rhodes after 7 pitches. And the away side does not agree with the pitch, but if they were watching the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network, they would see that that pitch was about 3 inches inside. And that'll bring up Jenna Hunter. Hunter going to see if she can make some noise. Dudgeon has been able to shut up the Cavaliers a good bit in these situations as of late. Can she do it again? She's going to get the slow roller. They're not going to get the force out at third base. We're going to have to check that one out on the replay. It was close. Dudgeon wanted the out call. We're going to check it out and see. I apologize. View did not get over there quite in time, so we do not have a replay on that one. Nonetheless, a courtesy runner, Layla Williams, will come in to run for Jenna Hunter. Nonetheless, regardless of what the play call is, it was a really, really, really close call there at third base. And even if we did have a replay up here for you guys, it's not like those dictate what the call is on the field anyway, just to clarify. So the number 8 hitter in the lineup, Emma Eden's up to bat. .62 pitches so far for Dudgeon. She's going up a little bit. Fielders come in. Emma Edens! That's to the outfield. Right fielder not able to make the play. It's dropped by Hood. That's going to score at least one. Rhodes coming in to score. Runner is out, though. Beautiful play made there at second base. And the shortstop, Ray, came over to make the out. So that'll get a runner out, but much more damage made than what these Knights would have liked to have seen. So that after all that craziness, the air will go on Hood over there in right field. So now 2 outs as Lake and Tully now up to bat for the Cavaliers. And Greenbrier West leads 4-0. Pitch will be low there for ball 1. But flashback back to Wednesday, and not to repeat this too much, but for those of you that did not get to see that game, the Knights came back from down 7 runs in the 6th inning to beat the Cavaliers 12-8. So they have already shown that they can come back and win the ball game. So this ball game is far from over. Cavaliers are definitely going to need more insurance runs than just 4. Swung on, and Tully was taking all the way. She didn't move an inch. Good look by the right outfield camera there. As you can see, the fielding positions for the Knights. So far, only runner is Emma Edens on first base. Choking up on her bat is Tully, and she's going to swing but be well late. And there's all the fielding positions on the aerial camera through the drone shot brought to you by Advanced Hydraulics. And that one's going to be low and pass ball. So full count, and Edens will advance into scoring position. Full count. This is a huge pitch right here. Knights need to get out of this inning. Cavaliers 1 insurance runs. Called strike 3 on the outside edge. Good job painting the zone there from Dudgeon. That'll be 3 runs come across in the 3rd inning. Cavaliers lead going into the top of the 4th. 4-0. We'll be right back on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
Raynell Medical Center is excellent healthcare right at home. Primary care, behavioral health, dental, pharmacy, full-service lab, and more. At locations close to you in Raynell, Meadowbridge, Alderson, White Sulphur Springs, Maxwellton, Midland Trail, and Lewisburg. Call 304-438-6188. Raynell Medical Center. Excellent healthcare right at home.
Welcome back, everyone, on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. The Cavaliers will ready as the top of the 4th inning is about ready to get started. Cavaliers were able to make some damage happen as they scored 3 runs in that third inning. So far, they've spread out the innings. Mount View yet to get a hit so far in this ball game. They were an absolute menace on Wednesday evening on that 12-8 victory. But their bats have so far stayed ice cold as Cheyenne Belcher up to bat for your Lady Knights. All right, 2, 3, 4 hitters so hard to the lineup for the Lady Knights. And as I've already mentioned once before, they don't have a hit yet. Cavaliers have 5 hits, 2 errors. They'd love to clean up those fielding errors, but thankfully on the Greenbrier West side of things, they have not resulted in any points against them. Time called by the home plate umpire. First base umpire, they'll go to have a conference over between first and home plate. We'll check that out here in just a second. If you're a master lip reader, let us know what they're saying down in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. Looks like they're having a little bit. So far, in the meantime, we'll go through the pitching duel. Redden so far through 3 innings. No hits, no runs, no walks, 8 Ks. As for Miss Phoebe Dudgeon, also 3 innings for her as well. Allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, but only 2 of those are earned, 1 walk, and 5 Ks. Belcher chokes up on her at bat. Delivery from Redden, and neither team has been able to catch up to the fastball. Neither the Cavaliers from Dudgeon or the Knights from Redden. The 1-2. Swung on and missed again. Strikeout number 9 from Briley Redden. 1 away from double digits. And her rubber rival, Dudgeon, will be up to bat now. See if she can make something happen here. Knights need base runners badly. Upstairs for ball 1. So far, perfect game on all facets is Redden, not allowing any base runners except for the 2 errors. One's going to go off the tip of her at bat and go to the away dugout for 1 ball, 1 strike, and even it up. I like how Dudgeon has the number 10 engraved from her jersey. Little gold plate on the side of her helmet. It's pretty cool looking. Swung on and missed. I'm telling you, there's something about the fastball from both the pitchers this evening. Neither team has been able to catch up to it. The Knights more than the Cavaliers, but still nonetheless. And that one will get Dudgeon thinking about life there for a second as she is forced to back up as the pitches will even up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swung on, Dudgeon. That'll go over the fence over in right field. Gracie Rhodes, believe me, she would have jumped over that fence if she could. She reminds me of those party poppers that you put in your mouth that you used to eat when you were a little kid, and they would pop on your tongue. That's exactly what Gracie Rhodes reminds me of. Outside pitch called ball, so 3 balls, 2 strikes on the full count. A called strike 3 right down the middle is Briley Redden. Yeah, there they are. The USA Pop Rocks. I love those things. You don't get better than those. Another thing you don't get better than is Briley Redden. As she enters her double-digit strikeout streak again, she'll get 10 strikeouts once again for the 2nd game in a row. Swing and a miss. Is Miss Rose, who they also call Barbie, will face an early 0-1 count. I'd say they call her Barbie because of her pretty pink nails. Try saying that 5 times fast. Ball upstairs. Swung on and missed there. I think the Knights are praying for a changeup, but Redden's not going to give it to him. She's out in front again on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 strike away from getting out of this 4th. Rose able to get a hold of that fastball as she times it up, but not able to get it in the field of play. Swung on and miss. Redden on the outside part of the strike zone. As Rose not able to get the bat head out there. That'll do it for the top of the 4th. We'll head to the bottom right here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. All right, home plate umpire wipes off the home plate. Top of the lineup will be up to bat for the Cavaliers. 1, 2, 3. Porter, Redden, and Adkins will be ready to roll. Eminem plays in the background. That would get me fired up. And apparently got Phoebe Dudgeon fired up as well. She throws that pitch about 1.5 feet outside of the strike zone upstairs. Infield comes in as they're aware of the bunting threat. She shows it, but downstairs. So Rose and Fowler will both come in. Short and second will stay where they're at for the time being. See if Porter can hit that shot between third and short. And it's going to go right opposite field, right in the sweet spot for Diana Porter. She's 3 for 3 with 3 singles on the evening. Cavaliers, I'm sure, still aren't feeling great, though. They want to get as many insurance runs as they possibly can. As Redden is next up to bat. She was hit by a pitch in her first at bat. Got in her second throw. Will not be made down. I thought they were there for a second. Porter moves into scoring position. As the ball will be called inside, 1-0. cracked. Redden, that's going to be an RBI. That makes it over past the left fielder, Briley Redden. That'll be a fielding error to stay at a single, but nonetheless, damage is still done. Diana Porter comes in. Good job by the Cavaliers, able to score their 5th run of the game, and time will be called by the catcher, Rose. Have a little bit of a conference with her rubber mate. Brooklyn Adkins will be up to bat. 6 hits on the evening for the Cavaliers off 5 runs. My question still remains the same, though. Can the underclassmen come through? Right now, the top of the lineup is more than doing their job. As the rise ball goes upstairs, swung on and missed by the senior catcher. Adkins is 2 for 2 on the evening so far. Was able to drive in the first RBI in her first at bat. Inside pitch, ball 1. The Knights will move back in their fielding positions. Right field. Rose stays back, showed bunt. That'll move Redden up 60 feet. And that'll be ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. All right, 2 balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 4th, Cavaliers threatening here. And if the Cavaliers are able to hold on to this lead, and Dudgeon wants that call outside. She really wants that call, but we can see pretty clearly here from the top that home plate umpire is pretty dead on with his calls. That was about 2 or 3 inches outside of the strike zone. And that one's going to make it. Oh, good play made there by the second baseman. Redden able to make it back safely. But a beautiful play there by Cheyenne Belcher, number 2 hitter, able to sit down the senior catcher, Brooklyn Adkins. And now one of the hitters that the Cavaliers desperately need to catch a spark is Eliana Dietz. She's 0 for 2 on the evening so far, and they need her to come through badly here. First and second base come in heavily. Swung on and missed there for strike 1. Man, if Dietz is able to hit this ball, Rose and Fowler are both going to have a little bit of a tough time trying to make a play. First base coach tells her just to make contact, and she sure enough made contact, but it goes to the backstop, and now she's going to be defending it, no balls, 2 strikes. So that'll move Rose and Fowler both back to their respective positions at first and third. Is Redden eager to make it back to home plate where she wants to be. Outside pitch, good eye from Eliana Dietz for ball number 1. The home side for the Cavaliers trying to hype up their freshman. And that's going to be swung on. It's going to make it out of play. So Dietz will see at least 5 pitches this at bat. Overall, though, pretty good conditions out here this evening. A little bit chilly here at Cavalier Field, but overall, not too bad. Definitely much better than the 47-degree first pitch than what we had yesterday evening. Dietz low and inside for ball 2. And this is where, as a Knights fan, you don't want this to get into your head. Cavaliers being up 5, you don't want to just give up on this game because you have tomorrow. Pitches away. Dietz does make contact, and Dietz will do the job and more. She's going to be safe at first base. The error will be made by Belcher. Belcher not able to field it cleanly, and Dietz makes it down speedily through the line. And so that's going to be error number 2 on the Lady Knights. And another insurance run for Greenbrier West. West is doing a good job in this game so far, spreading out their scoring and putting the pressure on Dudgeon. They've scored 1 in the first, didn't score any in the second, but have proceeded to have 3 runs in the third, and so far in the fourth, they have 2 with just 1 out and a runner on first base. Phoebe Dudgeon pitches away, swung on, but it's late. Despite the lead, the Cavaliers have still had trouble trying to get out in front of that fastball. Dudgeon, 86 through 86 pitches so far, has thrown 57 strikes. And I've said it once, I've said it a trillion times, and I'm going to say it another trillion. Thank the Lord for this fence here behind the backstop, or else me and the scorekeeper would not have a head. No balls, 2 strikes. Bevins will be defending. Oh, man. Just off the tip of Bevins' bat. Good job defending. See if she can stay alive. As the count is no balls, 2 strikes still. Once again, for those of you just tuning in, welcome into the Greenbrier Valley channel. This is an elimination game for the Cavaliers. And that will advance Eliana Dietz on the pass ball to second base. She'll get into scoring position. But the Mount View Lady Knights beat the Cavaliers 12-8 on Wednesday evening, which kept them at no losses in the tournament so far in regionals. And it is double elimination, so the Cavaliers have to beat them twice. Inside pitch called ball 2. As we have some frustration over on the Mount View side of things towards their fans. A little bit frustrated with the umpiring calls. Bevins puts the ball in play. And if nothing... Oh, drop ball! Oh, no. Rose dropped the ball from Belcher, and Bevins able to make it safely. So that's going to be error number 3 on the evening for the Lady Knights. And now Jenna Hunter up to bat. My goodness, so Bevins... Oh, no, excuse me, it's Gracie Rhodes. Hunter is on deck as of right now. And we're going to have a discussion between Fields and the home plate umpire. Gracie Rhodes on the day so far, 0 for 1. She also had a walk as well in her bat, so she's been productive on the day, but she's one of those hitters as an underclassman sophomore. The Cavaliers need her to get going. She's choking up on her bat, and they expected it, but it does the job as the pass ball, or the drop ball, will move Bevins over to second base. So 2 runners in scoring position. Anything in the outfield is going to score 2 runs and give the Cavaliers their biggest cushion they've had of this series. Outside, and Dietz will stay there wisely over at third base as Fowler holds her there. This almost seems like the same storybook beginning that we had on Wednesday evening. But the Cavaliers their fans alike, everyone watching, and also their coaches and players are praying that it is not the same way and they can hold on to this lead and that the Knights bats stay ice cold like they have so far over the course of this first 4 innings of the ball game. And Gracie Rhodes cracks that one to the outfield. It's going to make it over. And a good play made by the right fielder, Rose. And Eliana Dietz tags up, and it's a double tag up as Bevins will move from second to third. And if you're going to get out, Miss Rhodes, that's the way to do it. Oh, no, excuse me. We're going to check it out here on the Advanced Hydraulics replay. I think they're going to say that Bevins didn't tag up. Let's check it out. Did Bevins tag up? That definitely couldn't have been the call because she surely did there on the replay. I'm not sure what the call would have been. If that is what the call was, then that was the incorrect one, as Bevins was clearly tagging up there at second base. So we'll have to see if we can get some clarification at some point of what it was. But nonetheless, regardless, the Cavaliers will still get the run as Eliana Dietz scores from third base. So we're going to head now to, we are at the top of the 5th inning currently. So the Cavaliers have a little bit more cushion than what they did on Wednesday night's game. Only difference is Briley Redden is pitching an absolute masterpiece right now. We'll do a pitcher comparison right now through 4 innings. Phoebe Dudgeon, 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs. 4 of those have been earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And for the ace, Briley Redden, obviously 4 innings pitched as well. Listen to this, folks. No hits, no runs, no walks, and 11 strikeouts for the senior ace. Cavaliers definitely enjoying having her on the mound. Absolutely not saying anything ill about Lakin Tolley, as the freshman has also respectfully done a great job as well. But it's nice to have that experience on the mound, as Briley Redden has been to states a couple times. So to be able to have that experience in an elimination game really helps. And called strike 1 is going to be on number 14 of the Lady Knights, Miss Ashanti Bonds. Swing and a miss. And Redden is blowing smoke out there on the mound right now. No balls and 2 strikes. She's ahead of Bonds. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for the second time in this ball game. Briley Redden strikes her out on 3 pitches. And Briley Redden feeling herself this evening. That'll be her 12th K. And a showed bunt is called strike 1. Will be on Rihanna Hood. Hood shows bunt. She misses the bunt, so that'll be strike 2. Hood on the day is 0 for 1 to start out this ball game. Redden. And that one's going to be fouled off the base of her bat, and she felt it as it stung on the inside part of her hands. She'll get back to the batter's box here in just a second, but the home plate umpire is going to give her a second, catch her breath, let her shake out the tingling in her hands. She's asking for a glove now. I do not blame her. I couldn't imagine with the chilly conditions that are going on here this evening how badly that stung her hands. So she'll get the glove that she requested. The Cavaliers doing a great job through 4 so far into the top of this 5th inning, keeping these Lady Knights off the base pads. Redden. And Hood will foul it off again. 4 straight strikes from Bally Redden. Another thing that goes a little bit behind the scenes, but a compliment that I definitely wanted to give is, and a perfect representation there on the 13th strikeout, is Brooklyn Adkins. I was going to not only talk about her null and pass balls, but her being able to frame those pitches and giving Briley Redden even more of a chance to be able to strike out these batters. And Briley Redden would say it just as much as I would. Brooklyn Adkins deserves just as much credit as she does, with Redden an absolute smoke show as she delivers that one past the batter Rose. The catcher will swing, and that's going to be and that'll break up. Oh man, Gracie Rhodes. I respect the attempt there from Rhodes, able to get that in as quickly as she could. But Rose, plenty of speed, and that will break up the no-hitter. So the first hit allowed in this ballgame by Briley Redden here in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs as Rose reaches on an opposite field hit. Swung on and missed there for Miss Taishira Ray. That'll be the first strike of the at-bat. Outside and away, but good job there by Brooklyn Adkins, able to hold on to it and keep Rose from advancing into scoring position. Briley Redden. 2 balls, 1 strike. Good conditions, though, here this evening. I understand it's a little bit chilly here for these players, but definitely better conditions than what they were dealing with in yesterday's evening's ball game. Ray grounds cleanly made by Tully, and the Cavaliers will sit down the 3rd batter of the inning, and we will head now to the Greenbrier West bottom of the 5th, and the Cavaliers will only need 1 more run to take this thing, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to get clarification for that here in just a little bit. It is correct, yes, 8 after 5. So if the Cavaliers are able to score 1 more off of Phoebe Dudgeon, that will do it for this ballgame. So we're going to stay here, though. We're going to stay here. I know a lot of our viewers, a lot of you guys like to see all the commercials. As you can see, the aerial view brought to you by Advanced Hydraulics. But as I was saying, understand a lot of you guys like to see those commercials, but we're going to talk about some statistics here through the middle of this 5th inning. All right, so Briley Redden so far through 5. She's got 65 pitches. Listen to this, 50 strikes and only 15 balls. And allowing 1 hit through all the 17 batters that she's faced and 13 Ks. So great efficiency from Redden. So the Cavaliers so far through this game, they got themselves 8 hits on those 7 runs. A couple errors have favored them. But Dudgeon has done a good job at keeping the ball inside the strike zone. She's only allowed one walk through this game, so the Cavaliers have had to earn their hits. Now, as I've already mentioned before, the errors have helped, but the errors are also evened up. Cavaliers have 2 errors. The Lady Knights have 2 errors. The errors have just came at more unfortunate times for the Lady Knights, one of them being the dropped ball over in right field, which allowed 2 of the Lady Cavaliers to score on bases loaded. So now for Greenbrier West in the bottom of the 5th to start things out, it'll be Jenna Hunter. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Hunter 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. She's going to laser that one to third. Is she going to make it? Yes, she will. Throw is over, and that'll be the 3rd error of the game as Fowler airmailed that one a little bit too high. She thought she was in pilot school, but instead we're playing a little bit of softball. So that'll reach her on first base. And also, we have a sincere apology that has to be made that I just heard in my ear. Our producer had to go grab himself a slaw sandwich as well as some barbecue. I do not blame him, so the drone shot was unavailable for a few minutes. Or excuse me, I reversed that. The drone shot was the only footage that we had. So we're now back up to the outfield camera. As you can see, Dudgeon as she awaits the batter, Emma Edens. Edens so far is 0 for 2 on the evening. She's been able to make some solid contact, though, which is what the Cavaliers have needed from her and what they've wanted to see. Swung on and missed there from Edens. It'll be 0-1 to start out this at-bat. Also, public service announcement. If you guys are not following the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network, make sure you're doing that. If the Cavaliers hold up, we will have round 3 between the Lady Knights and the Cavaliers tomorrow evening. So make sure you're staying tuned. That one's going to go off the hand of Dudgeon. And beating it out is Emma Edens. Oh, my goodness. Edens not known as much for her speed, but she's still able to beat it out. And we're going to check it out here on the replay here as Dudgeon. And that was a good call there by the umpire over there at first base. She beat it out by about a step. So the officials haven't really seen anything done this evening to really bring any disagreements or anything crazy for that matter. But Lake and Tolly, nonetheless, of what's going on right now, Tolly will be up to bat as she chokes up heavily. The infield is going to play a little bit out for the Knights. Bunt showed. Called ball outside. And we're going to have time called. Time will be called, and we're going to have a discussion here between the head coach of the Mount View Lady Knights and Miss Dudgeon. He's likely going to keep Dudgeon in the game, considering she has been the main load bearer for them throughout the season. And to keep all you fans in the loop as we see the aerial coverage of the discussion over there on the pitcher's rubber. It's going to be broken up by the home plate umpire. We have some, to say the least, heavily involved and disagree. Some fans that disagree over on the Mount View side. And the home plate umpire requested that there be no more foul language used, or else there will be ejections made. And that is something me personally, I haven't seen is any ejections in the softball game, and hopefully the day is not today. So Lakin Tolley, now as she sees a favorable hitter's count at now 1 ball, no strikes. All right, we resume play. She shows bunt. Good bunt laid down there by Tolley, and waited too long there was Dudgeon as she tried to make the throw over to Layla Williams. All right, so the bunt is successful. Dudgeon had a little bit of trouble as she was trying to make an immediate decision for the Cavaliers. Also, thank you so much there to Mr. Garrett Lawrence, delivering over some couple barbecues to the commentator. I'll have to eat those during our intermission break at the end of this 5th inning. So thank you so much to the Greenbrier West home side over on the concession stand, taking good care of us over here at the Greenbrier Valley Channel. So bases are juiced right now for Miss Dudgeon. Inside pitch is going to be called strike 2 on Diana Porter. Diana Porter, so far, one of those hitters that they need to get on fire. She's 3 for 3 on the day with 3 singles, so that's a way to do it. She'll watch that pitch low as a good stop by the catcher, Rose, able to keep that in front of her. Dudgeon winds it up. And Diana Porter pops that one up, and it's out of play. And it sounded like it was over towards the bleachers. All right, and the softball was quickly retrieved. That might have been the fastest softball retrieval I have ever seen. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Porter will be defending. And Porter, oh my goodness, she turned loose on that one. That was the hardest hit ball we've seen today, but it was hit foul about 40 feet. So Porter, nonetheless, regardless, will stay alive. Cavaliers have him juiced, still with no outs. Noise over from the home side. And the pitch will be called low, ball number 2. The away side disagrees with the call, have a few chuckles. Runners on the base pads for the Cavaliers is Tolley on first, Emma Edens on second. And then Layla Williams coming in as a pinch runner on third. Porter hit that one, but she pops it straight up. And the play is going to be made by Miss Ray for the first out of this bottom of the 5th inning. All the Cavaliers need is Layla Williams to score from third base, and that will end this ball game due to the run scored rule. So Briley Redden now up to bat. And man, a grand slam over the fence would be a great way to end this ball game. Let's see if we're going to get it. We have a discussion between head coach Steve Fields and Miss Redden. She readies her bat. All right, here we go. Dudgeon. Called strike on the bottom part of the zone. She wanted to see what type of pitch she was going to give her. If I was Dudgeon right here, I would stick with the heat. It's worked so far throughout this ball game. The 0-1. The changeup. It's going to drop. Just fair. Tully will move in. That's a single, and that'll do it. Another run comes in. And that'll be the ball game. Greenbrier West comes in and is able to pull it off. And we're back to even, and we will have game number 3 of the series tomorrow evening. As you can see here, the game-winning hit by senior Briley Redden. You could see it over there on the aerial cam as it just dropped fair. Probably stayed fair about a foot. A good drone shot there. And even if Lake and Tully would have been called out, it wouldn't have mattered, as the Cavaliers only needed 8. So the Mount View Lady Knights will travel back down to Rupert tomorrow to face the Cavaliers. So that will do it here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. The final score is Greenbrier West 9. The Greenbrier West Lady Cavaliers 9 and the Mount View Lady Knights 0. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you drop a follow over on the Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and put us on the Discovery page on Roku. Guys, thank you so much for watching this evening. My name is Matthew Thomas calling the game, Joe Sharp on the camera, and then, of course, Harry Vance producing it for you guys. God bless everyone. Good night, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Renai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote for delivery.
Raynell Medical Center is excellent healthcare right at home. Primary care, behavioral health, dental, pharmacy, full-service lab, and more at locations close to you in Raynell, Meadowbridge, Alderson, White Sulphur Springs, Maxwellton, Midland Trail, and Lewisburg. Call 304-438-6188. Raynell Medical Center. Excellent healthcare right at home.